Omo Bibia Akwaba Bill at the Gossips 24 so na yene wo kromu ha ena ye Majid Michel we senior trust senior ro ne ho ababegu ni pabe ni tru musabi e de ache nyina echi ewie he say there was so wafa nyankopɔ prekopa no dey say where sofo mapa na no ena wakokopie e wo interview so ni ebusa ne say kasa born again kwampon hwan ene born again no ena Majid Michel eba betrema wo se wo bia wo no monsa anase wo hyiwi no enya de asa nipa no de wo bekobo sam gymnast ni definition wo de ma born again de na esa wo no monsa na wo hyiwi a wo betumi aye born again pepepe na so esa ni wi a wo hyi nyina echi na enya de a wo bekobo sam gym wo do fo yenti Majid Michel emba.
It is faith in Christ Jesus that is born again.
Enti born again the way we defining this here no does it mean say obi a shiwi obi a oye masem obi a oye no mabone na onim say yesu no ono so born again ana
no dear. You see, number one, let me clarify this. If you smoke, doesn't take you to hell, or you will smell like you've been to hell, but those who smoke are not going to go to hell. Those who booze are not going to go to hell, and that is not a testimony for the born again.
Okay.
But the one who is that's why he's giving us a commission that go ye into all the world and preach the gospel. That if you don't do that, the end of the world will not come. The end of the world is dependent on you preaching the gospel till it has become a testimony to all the nations that this is the truth, that this gospel is the truth. And the Bible clearly says that is what the end of the world is dependent on. Angela, we are now translating why.
Imagine if you crown the
end of the world is not dependent on a terrorist attack or 9/11 or some earthquake or a tsunami or all these things that when we see happening, we say, hey, we are see. The end of the world is not dependent on a terrorist attack or an earthquake. Yes, it is. It is.
And Angela too. Okay. Yeah. So, can you describe how you find this place?
When I was coming here, I thought I was going to George Brown's house. You know George Brown?
No.
You know George Brown? We have to fire you from Accra FM. But I'm talking about Nana Romeo. George Brown is one of the greatest radio presenters in Ghana had ever produced, and then he traveled for a while, and then he came back. But George Brown lives, I think, this street or the next street.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know him.
So I thought it was his house that was used for the Accra FM.
These are our own premises.
George Brown is the mighty pillar in radio.
Wow.
Google George Brown and see.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't born in Accra. I came from far, so. And where I was too, there was no electricity and all that. So, but maybe that time I didn't even have radio to listen to.
Okay.
I'm from far. My hometown.
Far is where?
Kofi Badukrom Doma. Very far.
They are the Romeo can say or you Krasini. Simple terms. Yes.
Now, Majiru Krasini.
Me. Nanka.
Ufri.
Ada.
Oh, sir. What now? Ada?
Oh, there's an Alcano.
Angela Sutanahe.
Hey, me dear, me papa inti movie around a lot.
Angela,
we were winning, but
Angela, no, what name Zebila village?
Hey,
Zebila.
I don't say Eva.
You don't know Zebila?
I don't know that.
Hey, na maji oti pisa.
There's some now come.
What shocking you? Obia a shock. Omo mo church again say, hey, Majid speaking tree or is omo bisa sa there they record that show voice and a translator. Wow.
Angela, you're away.
Winiba, but me ni wo bole bupe sugakope and sana yes I saw in Akusumo. So I'll say Akusumo really.
But Ukrumpa.
It depends you chere. It depends.
Enough.
Yes, sometimes.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Sometimes Upper West, yeah. But me fancy the Ganso as well.
To the one makes it
British, but me for the India fancy.
You are the true definition of mixed race.
That's mixed race.
They're mixed tribe.
She's a salad. She's a salad of races.
Yeah, I'm a toast. Melting pot.
Wow. That's good. Wow. Majid na abrabo kwaseng. How's life?
Life is heading towards Valentine's Day. Life is heading towards the men we love because I mean, you have a lot of church people that love their pastors.
Yes.
You have a lot of people in politics that love their politicians. Why? Because politics benefits them.
Yeah.
I mean, if this current government, if you're getting some deals from the current government, I don't think you ever come out and say bad things about the government. But because you're probably not associated with them, you're not benefiting from them.
For sure.
You'll be back bashing them. But the closer you get to them and they benefit you, they give you one or two deals, So the politician is one of the men we love. And the married man at home is one of the men we love as well. He's a father, he's an uncle, he's everybody to his immediate family. So we have the pastor, we have the politician, and we have the married man on the 14th of February at Kramo, 7 p.m. We want you guys to meet us there for a great film we have produced for you to enjoy.
Definitely, we'll be there.
Pacho, men translate to a trim one. Intina mede Angela Bahano. So me camera fano translate your mommy.
What do I know?
Now, cry to Tracy Angela.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Because here, when we were ditchem so, come as ditchem so.
Hey,
when him ditchem so.
Of course.
Wherever. When in Plaza Hotel.
Yeah.
Sisanya Plaza Hotel.
Didn't see some.
Aye, but ditchem so.
are you joking or you're telling the truth?
I'm telling you.
Sir.
They are mafia so.
Oh, Nasa would you see much? And then I am here home over now. So how can I say why you no more be brave, Jai?
Oh yeah.
Why you no more be brave, Jai?
Yeah. But that is not a testimony. The testimony is not that. The testimony, and you say, "Oh, I used to smoke. I've stopped smoking. Oh, I used to womanizer." That is not the testimony.
Okay.
No. That is not the testimony.
Okay.
Most Christians think that You see, when the bush was burning and Moses went to see the bush burning, people will take that moment of the bush burning and make that the testimony. The burning bush is not a testimony. The burning bush is there to get your attention.
Okay.
God never talked about the burning bush.
Okay.
When Moses saw the burning bush, God said, "Go to Egypt." God didn't say, "Do you know why the bush is not burning?" But when we see the burning bush, then we end it there. That becomes a testimony.
Okay.
No,
help us to, understand the word testimony very well. Testimony. What is your testimony?
It's to testify. It's when you go to court, you say you need to bring the evidence so we can testify.
Okay.
So testimony means that something that you have seen, you have handled, you have experienced, and now you are showing it to the people that look. This is the evidence of what I've been through. That's a testimony. Until you all testify that Majid is truly born again, that means you are witnesses.
Okay.
For you to be a witness, witnesses to testify that it is true. It is true. And you see, that is why I went on a search myself, because I just can't receive anything you tell me to receive. I will have to experience for myself. I have to know if what you're saying is true or not. Okay. And for me to do that, I have to sincerely experience it. I have to really, really go through the real emotions of what you're telling me. It is for me to know that what you're telling me is either I will choose for myself if I do the experiment, so I can testify for myself.
But you are born again, right?
I've always been born again, and born again simply means I have believed in the lordship and authority of Jesus Christ. That's born again.
Okay.
Born again simply means I don't go to. I believe that a man came to this earth 2,000 years ago, and I have confessed with my mouth and believed in my heart that he rose, because the Israelites themselves do not believe he rose. So born again is simply my faith. Born again means faith in Christ Jesus. That is born again.
Okay.
It is not your intellectual knowledge about God. Don't rush it there. Born again is not your intellectual knowledge about God.
Okay.
It is faith in Christ Jesus. That is born again.
And born again, the way we're defining this here, does it mean say obia or she read obia or ye masem obia or ye no mabone na onim say yesu no or no say born again na?
No, you see, number one, let me clarify this. If you smoke, doesn't take you to hell. Or you will smell like you've been to hell. But those who smoke are not going to go to hell. Those who booze are not going to go to hell. And that is not a testimony for the born again.
Okay.
But the one who is, that's why he's giving us a commission, that go ye into all the world and preach the gospel. That if you don't do that, the end of the world will not come. The the end of the world is dependent on you preaching the gospel till it has become a testimony to all the nations that this is the truth, that this gospel is the truth. And the Bible clearly says that is what the end of the world is dependent on. Angela, we are now translating why.
Imagine if you crown
the end of the world is not dependent on a terrorist attack or 9/11 or some earthquake or a tsunami or all these things that when we see happening, we say, hey, the end of the world is not dependent on a terrorist attack or an earthquake or a tsunami or all of these things we say, oh, this is it, this is the end times. No. The Bible clearly says the end is not yet. If you see these things, the end is not yet. Kingdoms will rise against kingdoms, nations against nations. There'll be rumors of wars, there'll be wars here, there'll be pestilences, there'll be famine. If you see these things, the end is not yet until this gospel is preached to all the world and has become a testimony. And then the end will come. So the end of the world is dependent on the gospel being preached. So if Majid wakes up today and say that I'm tired, I can't preach, then the end is waiting.
Angela, what do you have, sir?
Majid knows where I stand. I may know about the Christus Soma. May I? Okay, how should I put? Mamika in English, Pacho.
No problem.
I am not a religious person. Me believe in religion.
Oh, okay.
Me sum nyame, me sum the architecture of the universe, me sum Yahweh.
Okay.
He has different names, but
Yahweh is his name.
yes, but Allah,
Yud-He-Vav-He. Yahweh is his name.
Okay, my friend, no
Allah.
Buddhists have their own names for him. Every group of people, what chief friend Onyankopon, every friend Mawu, we have different names for him.
Sort of friend.
But deeper men believe in Jesus Christ.
Oh, okay.
For me, Jesus Christ is someone that was made up. He was a human being who existed, but no man I don't believe it.
Oh, okay.
I also believe that the Bible is a historical thing. It's something that people have written. Human being a Troy, and human beings will always expose our biases. Maybe you recounting the crown, or exaggerate or understate it. And for me, spirituality is very personal. It's between you and God. No one can be a mediator between you and God, like the way they've made Jesus Christ the mediator. If you want to go to God, you have to believe in Jesus Christ. Sabi, me papa, I don't need to go and tell another human being to go and speak to my father. I can go directly to my father and say, Daddy, I'm sorry for this. Daddy, maybe I'm here way. I don't understand why you need. There are a lot of inconsistencies with the Bible and with Christianity. Christianity is a religion.
Okay.
You understand? Just as Islam is a religion as well, and they have laid out beliefs and practices for that religion. Going to church is one of them. Me, I don't believe that I need to enter a specific building to be closer to God.
Oh, okay.
I can pray in my room and be close to God and have that relationship.
I think Majid once said that he doesn't also go to church like that.
Yeah, I've never liked going to church ever since I was a
Till
child.
now?
The only time you see me in church now is when I'm going to preach.
Oh, okay.
When I'm invited to the church is when you see me in church. Angela is right to an extent, but not completely. And I can't say I can't say absolutely,
of course.
because she has her opinions as well. But Christianity, first of all, Jesus himself never heard the word Christian, and Christian was never it's not a religion. It's man that has made it a religion. Man created religion. What Jesus actually did was Jesus brought us back to God. Jesus brought us back to God.
Why do we need someone to bring us back to God?
Because
God knows us. He knows our hearts. He knows what we do.
If you read the Old Testament, which
And
is
that's what she said.
Write a book.
No, but the Upanishad is a book. Do you believe
the Torah? I believe that the Torah. Look, the Bible is based on the Torah, and for instance, there's nothing like when we say polygamy is a sin in Ghana, we shouldn't do polygamy. In the Bible, there's nowhere in the Bible that says polygamy is a sin.
That's culture.
No,
that's
good,
culture.
but I want you to see the cultural influence on the Bible by the Romans. Culturally, polygamy is a sin for the Romans and has always been.
Yeah.
But Israelites, Abraham found favor before God, and he had multiple
Angela, because we preach
Solomon,
Angela,
David,
because
Daniel.
we preach our culture.
People,
Angela, because we preach our culture, we don't preach the good news. What's the
good news then?
The good news is the message of Christ. The good news
why
is that
Christ? Why not God? Why Christ? Why a human being who lived?
Jesus was God.
Anyway, I know this topic. If we are to go in details,
we'll have our own debate.
I know. This will be a topic for another.
Please let me add this. Let me just add this. Look, if you look at Christianity, or that's a specific religion. Christianity has been the origin of so much atrocity in the world. It's because of Christianity they came into Africa to conquer Africa. Do you understand? How can you use the same religion that people stand on to abuse other human beings and fight and whatnot? And Angela,
I've addressed all of these things, but you see, that's not the focus. Because once a human being is in charge, his personal greed, but his personal evil will show up somewhere along the line.
The reality is today, a lot of Ghanaians buy into this religion and it controls them. Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday.
That's what we're bringing the light. That's what we're bringing the light.
And go and give offering. Now, pastor no the but the church no church no bread. Now one city now or Angela,
you are addressing the issues of the expenditure of the church.
Not the expenditure of it's the practice. We have a certain practice which is given offering.
That is not the good news.
And then
Angela, that is not the good news.
So what's the good news? So this is what we'll do.
The good news is on 40.
We'll continue this topic when we go out there. Then, because I know this is a very debatable it's going to take much time.
You know what? Then I wrong you. Angela, I'm not here. I didn't come to debate.
Of course.
And I don't even debate. I respect Angela's views. I respect everything she believes in. Now it's my duty for us to sit together, and that she gives me her views. I give her my views, and I explain, because everything she said, I've addressed them. I've addressed them before on my Instagram and other places. I've addressed these issues. If you read most of my captions, I've addressed the culture, how we preach the culture, how she's addressing the church, the things they do. All these things are wrong, yes. But you see, these things, because that is not the gospel of. That's not the gospel we preach.
That's not the
essence, yes. But that is what man.
Okay, let me ask you this question.
That's what man has preached.
Let me ask you this question: Do I need to follow the gospel to go to heaven?
The word gospel is the word good news.
Okay, the good news.
Yes,
the good news.
No, the good news is the good news becomes a lifestyle if you study it. And all I'm saying is that Jesus came to. Man was separated from God. The only reason Jesus came was to bring you back to God.
Okay, so do I need to follow Jesus to make it to heaven?
So the Torah, Torah,
yes.
You realize how God treated man, how God could kill man with fire and things. But God doesn't do that now.
Yeah.
Because His Spirit dwells with us. In the Old Testament, in the olden time, the Spirit wasn't dwelling with man. So God couldn't identify with man because He didn't have Himself in man. But now the opportunity for man to have God is there.
My question. My question is: do I need to follow Christ? Do I absolutely need Christ?
Do you need to be a Christian?
No Christian. Well, let me. That's because he mentioned that Christianity is just a practice. It's not the good news.
Yes.
Do I need to follow Christ? And the good news, is that the only way to heaven?
Let me tell you, in the Christian religion, that is the only way to heaven. And let me tell you something.
Okay, in the Christian religion, then good. I like that.
So listen.
Because there are other ways to enter. Then
in Islam, that is no,
that's not the way.
Hold on, yes.
Who's to say Islam is wrong?
Because it was only Jesus Christ that had the audacity. No other person in history had the audacity.
But let me also ask this.
To say He was the way.
But Majid, do you also believe that it is religion that will take us to heaven?
No, you see, when you say
spirituality.
When you say religion, then you've spotted, because religion
the
is
reason
bad.
why I say religion is
because
we have Islam as a religion.
I'm against religion.
We have Christianity as a religion.
Yes.
So if I'm born a Muslim and all my parents are Muslims and they give birth to me as a Muslim, definitely.
Na Majid Michel ni se mono de wakako Nyankopon anase Jesus Christ awama ne criteria sa obegina so ede nipa akọ heaven anase bonsam dim to watchra mo amoshen tampe mo hyiwie kukudam na ban pommu no ekutia na yechichi mutum na mo no monsa na mo ne nam krom sesen krofo ne amane ade nyino sei ni nyina yese de bone pa de anase 10 commandments no enim entenya de ede obekọ bonsam dim ye be so se wankasa so I will share you bet me the comment section and so I didn't check add to your comment section no ase ede amaye no wabomode asa be subscribe to Gossip 24 Macau.